The Havoc. The Outer Rim echoes with the suffering brought by the Imperium's iron grip. Abandoned colonies whisper tales of once thriving life, now reduced to mere memories. For smugglers like us, it's not just about credits. Exposing the Imperium's corruption? That's the real treasure. Jaxx Tydus, captain of the Havoc. She's seen better days. Sounds like an old beast coughing and sputtering, but she's got spirit. Her crew? Even more surprising. I was the Empire's golden boy until I glimpsed the darkness beneath the shine. Prisons hidden in the vastness of space. Innocent suffering. Reporting the injustice got me nowhere, but turning my back on it, that set me free. Now the Havoc is my weapon in this personal war. Ivar and Eric, the Viking brothers. Point and shoot, that's them. Ivar with plasma echoing from his gun, and Eric, the techie, orchestrating chaos. Tika Seville, the engineering prodigy. Her tools sing as she works wonders with scrap. She might mumble and stutter with people, but machines, they speak her language. Elara Talis, our ace. Her piloting is pure art, but her story, loss and survival. Flying means everything to Elara. Freedom, life, home. She's got a past full of shadows, dreams of reuniting with a long-lost sister. She believes in us, believes that together we can light her path back to family. Tonight, we celebrate. Neon lights flickered as we occupied a corner booth, knocking back drinks after a successful raid. To fortune favoring the bold, not only did we score a hefty payload of the Imperium's beryllium vapor, but we left those Imperial lackeys spinning.
Here. We really knocked their heads in this time.
All in a day's work, sticking it to the Empire. The look on those officers' faces when their security systems flipped on them? Priceless.
I wish I could have seen it. Too bad I was stuck in the ventilation duct splicing those controls.
Next time, we'll strap a camera to your suit. Nobody can splice a system faster than our little gearhead. Tika beams at the compliment.
To pull a job that clean, we deserve a night to celebrate.
Elara waves over a server drone for another round of drinks. To the Havoc, the finest crew of rogues and rebels I've ever...
Jaxx Tydus? I have a proposition, if you've got the guts.
A mysterious figure looms over our table. Scarred features and a jagged cybernetic eye. His coat reeks from hard travels. The crew tenses, hands drifting toward concealed weapons. The figure slowly sits. A server drone brings him a dusty bottle.
I need skilled hands for a particular repo job. The payday would be substantial for the right crew.
We're always open to opportunities. What's the target?
The Imperial data vault on Valgora, full of classified intel. Help me liberate it, and the rewards would be considerable.
Silence falls over the table at the audacity of this job. Well, now, you don't think small, friend. What's your stake in this vault?
I have my reasons. Reasons worth more than credits to me. That's all you need know.
I turn to Elara. What do you think? Can we breach it?
High risk for sure, but Havoc has slipped tougher locks. This could be our biggest payday yet.
I smile. I see more than profit here. A chance to deal a blow to the Imperium itself. Well, team, are we up for some rebel mischief?
Smash Imperial heads and get paid? Count me in, Captain.
Suits me fine. Be fun to crack an imp vault wide open.
Their data security is top-notch, but I'm up for the challenge.
I nod to the stranger. You've got yourself a deal. We'll spread this intel far and wide. The stranger slides a data chip across the table.
Coordinates for Valgora and the vault. Don't thank me. Just stick it to those imp scum.
He stands abruptly to leave.
Be prepared. This will be no cakewalk.
The stranger disappears into the crowd. The team looks eagerly at each other, ready for the challenge ahead. To bold risks and rebel souls. Fortune awaits on Valgora. We cheer and drink deep into the night, excitement building. The risk will be great, but so too will our reward in striking back at the Imperium.
All right, team, here's the skinny. Elara's plotted us a looping drift path through Valgora's perimeter patrols. Tika's got their sensor buoys spoofed.
Eric, your phase wafers ready to scatter their scanners? Tika crawled out from the maintenance hatch, grease smudged on her cheeks, but grinning ear to ear.
Those stabilizers will hold better than new now. We can pull all the tight turns and quick stops you need.
Her eagerness for my praise reminded me that this band of misfits was the closest thing to family Tika had ever known. She poured her heart into keeping the Havoc humming because our lives depended on it. I smiled, wiping a grease smear from her face. She ducked her head, unused to the physical contact, but her smile grew wider.
Primed and ready, Captain. These new phase units will be impossible to pin down.
Love it. Ivar, guns loaded. This gets loud. I'll need that famous aim of yours.
Rack's guns always ready to rock and roll. These imps will regret the day they crossed Havoc's path.
Hold that thought, big guy. Get too feisty early and this mission turns real sour.
Yeah, keep it in your pants, Ivar. I just tuned the stealth drive. Let's actually use it for once.
Stealth now, blasting later. Elara, take us in.
Everyone else, seal up and stand by. Here we go.
Guiding us closer, maintaining loose asteroid cover. All emissions locked down. We're running dark.
I catch Elara alone on the bridge, staring out into the stars. Her thoughts seem somewhere distant. Credit for your thoughts?
Just risks weighing on me, Captain. We take so many, sooner or later our luck.
Her voice trails off, but I understand the unspoken end. One day our gambits could cost everything, and with it, any hope of finding her long-lost sister. My instincts urge me to comfort her, but no empty promise will do. The only assurance that matters is results, reuniting Elara with family. I vow to myself to make it happen, no matter the cost. On my mark, Eric. Send those sensor scramblers flying. Blind these imp hounds. In 3, 2...
Disruption units away. Their scans should be scrambled for the next 20 minutes at least.
Perimeter cleared. I see the landing zone just inside that canyon, bringing us down now.
As we approached the planet's orbit, a wide gap had opened in the Imperial patrol pattern, perfect for insertion. I chuckled, glancing at the readout. Takes these imps too long to circle back. Sloppy formations. An idea sparked. I could blaze us right down the middle and shave off time. Risky, but the window was short. I throttled up, guiding us into a steep dive before Elara could object.
Captain, that sector's still within their sensor range. We should hold back and follow the plan.
And miss our window? Where's your sense of boldness, Elara? The hull groaned under the pressure as I whooped at the thrill. But Elara gripped her controls white-knuckled, bracing for the worst. She preferred careful strategy over bravado. I lived to press fortune's luck. It was a difference in taste that had sparked some fiery debates between us during this journey. For now, time was too short to argue. We had a job to do.
That maneuver was reckless, and you know it. You could have doomed us all before we even started the mission.
Maybe, but it paid off nicely this time. Big risks, big rewards.
And when your risks backfire and get us all killed, your luck can't hold forever, Tydus. Leave the flying to me.
I didn't have a good answer for her. In truth, part of me craved those death-defying situations. They made me feel alive. I knew it worried Elara to no end. Perhaps I did let the thrill of the gamble cloud my judgment at times. Okay, team. Phase 1 complete. Time gets real short from here. Tika, work that vault access hatch. Ivar, Eric, guard our exit corridor. These imps notice an unscheduled breach. Things go explosive real fast. Everyone moved swiftly to their tasks. Tika interfaced with the massive vault door controls, working her technical magic. Ivar and Eric took up perimeter positions, phase shields and guns at the ready. My heart raced. We were committed now. Either we scored the jackpot inside or we'd be spending the rest of our short lives in an imp prison colony. Not exactly my idea of retirement. Time seemed to slow as we waited on Tika, each second crawling by, bringing us closer to Imperial Discover. Pressure was spiking. I checked my chrono again, ready to call it off if we hit the abort threshold. Tika, status? We're approaching the point of no return.
Got it! Vault access hatch is opening. Cutting it close, boys, but we are in.
A collective exhale of relief. Phase 1 cleared. Now, for the real fun to start. Nicely done, Tika. Eric, Ivar, head inside first and secure an egress route back here to the ship. Tika, tap their system and start siphoning every file you can access. Comms, prisoner logs, I want it all. We expose these imp scum for who they really are.
You got it, Captain.
We were off. A high-stakes race now. Download and escape before imp forces realized their secrets were compromised. Risky as hell. But Havoc lives for jobs like this. And if we pulled this off, the Imperium would never be the same again. So far, so good.
Weapons free. Clear. Line corner. On your right.
Stack up.
On your right.
I've got your 6.
Move. Clear.
Fortune favors the bold. Havoc team was about to prove how bold we could be.
Clear.
The data archives were just ahead according to Tika's schematics. A treasure trove of Imperium secrets ripe for the taking. How much farther, Tika?
Just around this next bend should be a larger chamber with access terminals to the central data core.
We hugged the inner corner as the tunnel opened into a wider space. Hollow displays glowed from floor to ceiling along the far wall. Server access ports blinked below them, tantalizingly close. We'd made it to the jackpot room, now to crack those data vaults. Jackpot. Good work, people. We're in business. Tika, work your magic. See if you can't liberate some of the Imperium's darkest secrets.
Already on it. Slicing the access codes now. Exabytes of juicy intel. It'll take me a few minutes to tunnel in. Keep the lights on for me, boys.
You got it. Ivar, Eric, take defensive positions by the tunnel mouths. Stay sharp in case we have uninvited guests. The chamber hummed with energy as Tika dove into the data systems. Her fingers flew across hollow interfaces, parsing data and circumventing security layers. I watched over her shoulder as tantalizing snippets of info flashed past. Black budget expenditures, political prisoner manifests, deep cover operatives. This archive was a goldmine of Imperium dirt. My imagination ran wild thinking what we could do with such strategic intel. The criminal contacts I could blackmail, bases I could raid. The Imperium would be sent scrambling from within while freedom movements pressed from outside. This score was looking more profitable by the minute.
We've got activity out here. Security drones activating down the eastern tunnels.
Copy that. Tika, how's our download looking?
Their encryption is complicated, but I'm picking the locks as fast as I can. I just need a few more minutes.
You may not have it. Eric, status on those drones?
At least half a dozen coming our way. 50 meters out and closing. Looks like heavy laser sentry models.
I weighed our options quickly. Standing and fighting was risky. This was always the gamble, time growing short just as the prize grew close. Fortune favors the bold. Havoc was all in. Hold this chamber. We leave when Tika finishes, not before. Ivar, target those drones the moment they hit your range. Eric, phased perimeter defense. Funnel them into Ivar's fire.
Now we're talking. Drones have got nothing on these plasma cannons. Let them come.
The deck rumbled under our feet as security drones marched nearer. Any moment now, they'd turn the corner and open fire, starting a countdown to our destruction. But Havoc didn't cave so easily. We'd faced worse odds and walked away smiling. Today would be no different.
Drones entering the junction. Now. Opening fire.
The chamber echoed with explosions as Ivar opened fire. Eric's phase barriers sealed the side tunnels, funneling the drones directly into the kill box. The drones returned heavy fire, but shields absorbed the barrage.
Guards dispatched from the barracks. ETA 90 seconds.
Acknowledged. Ivar, save ammo for that second wave. Eric, be prepared to lay suppression fields to cover our exit. We were committed now, trading time for data. Tika worked feverishly as fire erupted outside. Alarms would be sounding across the base. Our stealthy insertion now a full breach. The jackpot was inside these vaults, but escaping with it would take all our skills and daring. Havoc's specialty.
Drones neutralized, but more are coming. Lots more.
Captain, those disruption fields won't hold long against sustained firepower.
Almost there. The final encryption gate is opening.
The deck rocked as explosions edged closer. We were out of time. Fortune smiles on the bold. Ivar, thermal detonator on the tunnel mouth. Eric, brace those shields.
Fire in the hole.
Braced and reinforced. Not sure how long they'll hold.
They'll hold long enough. Tika, finish that slice. Ivar, cover her. We are leaving with that intel. For all her joking and bravado, when things got hot, Tika was an artist under pressure. One final cryptographic lock snapped open.
I'm in. Full access granted. Downloading exabytes of intel now.
Music to my ears. Drop everything non-essential and grab what we can. As soon as that download finishes, we are ghosts. Ivar, ready the detonators and target the supports.
Now that's a plan. Been a while since I brought down a whole bunker.
The final seconds stretched out as data flowed into Tika's drives. Outside, the armored suppressive fields were buckling under sustained drone barrage. We'd soon be neck deep in Imperials. But Lady Fortune gives nothing easily. You've got to risk it all if you want the real reward.
Download complete. Let's blow this joint.
Ivar, bring down their house. Tika, head back to the shuttle. Eric and I have the rear.
Move it, people. Fortune favors the bold. We emerged from the smoke-filled tunnels back onto Valgora's storm-wrought surface. The whole data vault shook under the force of Ivar's explosives as we sprinted for the Havoc and her glorious ramp. So far, we were still ahead of the shockwaves, but our problems were just getting started. The shuttle engine screamed as Elara blasted us up and away from the surface. Alarms and explosions still echoed from the ruined data vault below. We'd succeeded in our raid, but the job wasn't over yet. As the blackness of space enveloped us, warning sirens flashed across the console. A proximity alarm, and not from debris. Incoming spacecraft straight from the planet. We weren't leaving this rock without a fight.
Captain, 4 Imperial interceptors closing fast. Looks like Ascension-class fighters, armed to the teeth.
I slammed a fist down. Ascensions were dead accurate and shielded to hell and back. Imperial chatter would be calling every available gun to converge on us.
Copy that. Tika, get those guns charged. Ivar, target engines and weapon systems only. We just need to punch through, not take them down. Eric, reinforce aft and dorsal shields.
Alarms blared as the Havoc shuddered under Imperial bombardment. Our daring heist was unraveling rapidly, and I was resolved to blast our way out. Odds be damned. Space lit up as plasma rounds screamed past us. The Imperial fighters were taking no chances, unleashing full heavy laser spreads into our vector. Even with shield augmentation, multiple direct hits would cook us alive. I gripped the command console as the Havoc shook under their barrage. We'd escaped certain death underground only to fly into a killing field up here. All too familiar odds for the Havoc. But we'd carved our names into legend defying odds like these. Today would be no different. It was time to push our luck once again.
Now we have no choice, Elara. Tika, divert all spare power to the ion cannon. We're going to punch straight down their throats. Elara, set an intercept course for the lead fighter. Give me a clean line right past their bow.
Copy that, Captain. Accelerating to attack velocity now.
The Havoc's engines screamed as we raced right into the teeth of the Imperial squadron. Their precisely aimed laser fire tore past us, each volley closer than the last. The dorsal shields took a direct hit, flaring alarms across the console. But there was no turning back now. In space combat, aggression was often the only path to survival. And aggression we had in spades.
Steady, people. Tika, full power to forward shields. Let them have it.
Brilliant lance of ionized particles stabbed through the blackness. Our heavy ion blast couldn't miss at this range. A perfect bullseye strike on the lead interceptor's bow. Cheers erupted on the Havoc's bridge as the enemy fighter went inert, shields fried and weapons offline. They'd be restored shortly, but we only needed a small window.
Elara, push us right through their formation. Use their immobilized wingmen for cover. 1 down, 3 to go. Ivar, target engines only. Send these imps spinning.
It was a bold play, using the disabled interceptor as a shield. But bold plays were Havoc's specialty. The gamble paid off as we blew past, raking the other fighters with precision fire before their gunners could readjust. 2 more Ascensions tumbled out of control, leaking plasma from damaged thrusters. Only one now stood between us and open space.
Captain picking up massive energy readings from high orbit. It's the Imperial fleet. They're moving to cut off all escape vectors.
My gut tightened. No doubt they'd been called in the moment our heist went loud. Now an entire battle group stood between Havoc and freedom. The job was supposed to be quick and clean. Instead, we'd kicked the Synthera nest, but good. Time was up. We had to make our move. Then we go through them. Divert all reserves to engines and forward shields. We're punching straight up the middle before their battle net closes.
Now that's a plan. Havoc plows for no one. Let's knock some Imperial heads.
A desperate play, but our only viable move. The Imperial capital ships would detect us any moment, but not before we hit FTL velocity. By that point, their tractor beams would clutch empty space. It was a slim margin, but Havoc team lived on slim margins. The blackness of space transformed into a lethal light show as we entered the planetary defense grid. Turbo laser turrets swung instantly into firing lanes, while fighters swarmed out to intercept. Collision alerts screamed across the console as Elara juked us wildly around dense fire. Our vector took us straight past the command ship's bridge tower, a suicide run against any other crew. But Elara was no ordinary pilot. She rolled the Havoc right between tractor beam towers, so close you could see the glinting bridge windows and ant-like scrambling shapes within. Alarms blared a collision alert as an Imperial cruiser filled the viewport ahead. Elara banked us hard, thrusters screaming as she slipped us between two torpedo tubes, just as they unloaded volleys of fire. The Havoc shook under the force of their ignitions, but Elara held us true, safely threading the eye of the storm. It was a move few pilots in the galaxy could pull off, but then few had lived Elara's life, turning desperate escape into an art form. Once again, her skills honed on bombed-out streets had saved Havoc from certain demise. Maneuvering thrusters flared as she gracefully slipped the needle hole with meters to spare. Shouting figures on the command ship's bridge faded behind us as open space emerged up ahead. Clear for jump. By the skin of our teeth, we'd done it again.
Entering outer system boundaries. Preparing to jump.
Fortune favors the bold.
Make it happen.
The taste of victory was sweet, as Havoc stepped back into the neon haze of the spaceport bar. News of our heist was already spreading through the crowds, who parted ways as we entered. Drinks all around.
That was some slick flying, Elara. Slicing between those cruisers, pure genius. They'll be talking about that stunt for years.
All in a day's work. Couldn't let those imps lock a tractor on us before the jump.
Just wait till this intel gets broadcast. Going to rock the whole sector.
I've already decrypted parts of it. The things they've been hiding. It's worse than we imagined.
Then it's our duty to spread the truth. The Havoc deals in freedom. Freedom of information most of all.
Well, you've outpaced my expectations. I should have known better than to doubt Havoc's skills.
You didn't mention breaching a full battle group defending the vault, but we don't shy from a challenge.
Consider it a test. One you clearly passed. And your next trial awaits. I've got another target. It's an imp encryption key set.
Another crazy job, huh? I like the way you think, friend.
The Imperium's got countless skeletons locked away. It's high time we expose them all.
Knew I picked the right crew. Deal some real damage with me, and the whole sector will thank you.
He extends a gloved hand to me. You can count me as a friend. Let's keep rattling the Empire's cage. We'll see what comes loose. I grasp his hand firmly. The Havoc would keep fighting until the truth was free. Our mission had only just begun. Note to self, don't try matching drinks with Ivar again. Feels like my head's still spinning through hyperspace. Ah, sweet relief. My head feels as clear as an Umbari sky now.
Captain, you awake? We need to talk.
Come on in, Tika.
Morning, sir. Hate to bother you, but I cracked an encrypted file off that imp data core. I think you should see this right away.
Let's have a look then. These are prisoner logs and transports, looks like. What am I missing here?
Check the latest entry. They moved a prisoner off Moonbase Andara 2 cycles ago.
Human female, early 20s, raven hair, name, Talia Shen. Shen? Wasn't that Elara's?
Her sister's name. It's got to be her. Looks like imps grabbed her.
I see why you rushed this up. Any details on where she was transferred?
Nothing concrete yet. The trail ends at a prison transport ship called the Reckoner. No flight plan or manifest available. She could be anywhere by now.
Then we track this Reckoner down, whatever it takes. If Elara's sister is out there, Havoc is going to find her. But let's keep this between us for now. No need getting Elara's hopes up until we confirm it's really her.
My thoughts exactly, Captain. I'll dig quietly and find us a lead.
Good. And Tika, nice work cracking this. Could be just the break we need to help Elara. She deserves this, after all she's done for Havoc.
We'd be space dust without her flying. She's earned some good fortune. I'll update you the moment I trace that transport ship's movements.
Do that. And remember, not a word to the others yet.
Greetings, crew. It seems the mysteries are far from over.
You got that right, Captain. I've got a bad feeling about that ship we're headed towards. My senses tell me danger is lurking inside.
We can't ignore a distress call, even if the ship seems lifeless. It's our duty to investigate.
I know, but I swear there's something off about that vessel.
Don't let your imagination run wild, Quinn. I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of things over there.
Maybe. But I'll be ready to protect this crew, no matter what nightmares we uncover.
Of course. We'll search for survivors, but keep our wits about us. The darkness of space holds many secrets and untold threats. Join us next week for an all-new episode as we explore the depths of a ghost ship and unravel the fate of her missing crew. The answers await us in the void.
Changed my sense of order.